I'm Mika Boorem. You're watching Talk Show on the Go with Sunda.
I'm Ben Boorem. You are watching Talk Show on the Go with Sunda.
Magic! Yeah! It's real magic. How you guys doing? I'm Sunda, and this is Talk Show on the Go. And I am really on the go today. I've got a real Hollywood team. And when I say a Hollywood team, we're talking about they know each other for a really long time. And I am so happy to have you here, Mika. I have Mika and Ben Boorem here. Thank you so much for being here today. Round of applause.
Thank you so much for having us. What a treat.
Yes.
This is a total blast. We're excited to be here.
We are so excited. We're not even following this stuff. Let
We
me tell
are
you something.
so lucky.
You are lucky because you know something, just to be able to talk to people who are really in Hollywood, who have really worked. I mean, when I was looking at Mika's credits and I saw the Waltons, I said, wow, they say black don't crack, white don't bite. Look, she still looks like a kid on the Waltons. Next thing you know, they'll be showing her on reruns, Little House on the Prairie. But the beauty of working in that business with those types of professionals for so many years, that had to give you some sort of drive to do what you're doing now with the producing and directing.
I think so, absolutely. I mean, being around so many professionals and artists and interesting people to collaborate with, it's like, wow, in awe, it makes you want to see what they're doing, how they're doing it, and be inspired to start making your own projects.
How, though? I mean, I have that inspiration. What I don't have is the technology. And I wonder if it's just that it's a certain age where I had kids and I went blank, or AOL was still dialing up and I was like, forget about it. But actresses today don't realize how necessary it is to have those skills as well. It doesn't matter sometimes how good of an actress you are. Editing,
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's an interesting era now because there's so many different platforms where you can reach audiences. You can get stuff up on YouTube. You can get stuff out through social media. So, it's cool. Get your reel up on there. Make a reel. You want to do stuff. You want people to see your work. Push for it.
Put it out there.
Put it out there. Yeah, put yourself out there. Why not? If that's what you want.
I run the LA School of Comedy, and I also, besides being a performer, I also teach. And I find that so many of these when I say amateur, forgive me, but they're not headliners, they're so hesitant to be taped. And they say the strangest things to me, like, somebody's going to steal my material. You can't put that live. Someone's going to steal that. If you're doing your material and it's yours, then you should be seen doing it. That's how I feel. Although comedy is a whole different genre, and at the same time, you have so much comedic timing. I just see it as a matter of like this before you start doing comedy. And with that story, oh, please, guys, you don't even know these two, all right? They're flying around in helicopters. They're searching for gems. I mean, I'm sorry to bring your dad in on the interview, but he also had to be a big part of your inspiration.
Oh my gosh, across the board, across the board. Inspiration for work stuff, inspiration for comedic stuff, and inspiration for this last film that we made, Hollywood.Con. We actually collaborated on it together. We wrote it together. He acts in it too. He got his big star.
Yeah, that was something else.
He was put into a fat suit, which was fantastic.
Yes. Having my daughter say, "Dad, you suck. Now do this again." I'm just like, what? Come on now.
I don't know. I don't know if I ever said that. That feels like a little criminatory.
Okay.
How beautiful. So, first of all, and I was going over this, and I don't want to be. I'm one that'll give a spoiler, so I'm the absolute worst when it comes to talking about a movie. But I just thought that the opposite, how that changes you from being who you are in the movie to a totally different person. That's a big jump in acting for you.
Yeah, it was fun. We for the movie.
Tell me a little bit about the movie before I tell you the movie. I will. I'm bad.
So Hollywood.Con was a really fun venture. It's a movie about people who are at a production company and they're in the race to make this next big Mayan film. And we kind of, took a lot of inspiration from movies like Romancing the Stone, Get Shorty, and but the movie itself has all these like really, really fun, wacky characters. We had a great ensemble cast for it. And like with my background being an actor, it was really important to me that that all the characters are really like well developed. And so my particular character in it, we built in this big arc where at the beginning she starts somewhere and then by the end she's the opposite. I don't know how to explain that character arc with giving it away. I can't give it away.
Right.
But it's big.
It's big because it's a total change of character, and it demonstrates such a tremendous stretch for acting. For someone who's done all these other roles, to suddenly be that person is just a great stretch, and you got to congratulate yourself. I mean, who'd you coach with?
Well,
did you go to Columbia? I'm kidding.
You know, it was funny on this too because wearing so many different hats, and with this being my directorial debut, it was funny. It's like it's pretty ambitious for an independent film.
I would say the least, a little bit.
We got a lot of locations too. We film in Mexico, we film in Guatemala, we film in Texas, we film in Arizona. Like this movie just moves through a lot of
sets.
stuff.
We had over 30 sets, which for an independent's like getting with the program. We had a lot
that is with the program.
Yeah, we were getting with it.
And now you've
airplane scenes. Yes, we got some of the best airplane scenes.
Was she flying this time? Because she also flies a helicopter.
Yes, she was.
I'll tell you all about that.
Yes, she was.
Okay?
Yes, but we can't give this stuff
her.
away here. Yes, yes, she was. Yes, she had to do some flying.
And we're not giving it away. I just saw some cute little things when she was young flying a helicopter, and I was like, "Is this a green screen?" And he's like, "That back then they didn't have green screens." It's my daughter.
That's right. Back in the day.
And he's like, "You're doing it wrong." I was like, "They're in a helicopter."
And I was in a helicopter with Chuck Norris on, what's that show called? Texas Walker Ranger?
Yeah, Walker, Texas Ranger.
I was in there with him at one point, too, which is some pretty solid bragging rights. Now, one fly in that one, I was just getting, toted through, but...
But there's a funny story with that is he grabs her, and she doesn't have a seatbelt on. She's going, how about my seatbelt? They're going, this is Chuck Norris. What do you mean? You don't need a seatbelt. Chuck's got you.
I was like,
Chuck's got you. He's got you.
That's right.
I was like, who is this guy?
He's the
gonna kill me.
guy, right?
He sure
He's
is.
So gentle. You would never think. Who have you worked with that was just you were in awe? Like, wow, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Oh, now Sunda, I can't play favorites. I can't pick a favorite. No, I've worked with so many people that I really.
I want Cher. That's why I was
Cher?
asking. I've never had that.
Oh my gosh.
How will your dream actress be then? Don't go that way.
Gosh, I don't know. There's so many people that I admire.
Exactly.
So many people,
Betty
yeah.
White I admire.
Betty White.
Friggin' White.
Hilarious. Hilarious, yeah. So good. So many wonderful actresses.
It's nice for you to even say that though, like nice, wonderful actresses, as opposed to some of, I get guests who are opinionated. You're allowed to say what you want to say. It's better to be nice, but sometimes people are like, oh, actresses, what's an actress now? Somebody who has followers on Instagram? Is that what makes an actor? And it's sad because there's a little bit of a crossover there. That's true.
It is interesting. It's interesting how the industry has changed with some of that stuff too, because back in the day, like, I even remember so many years ago, there was a difference between if someone was like predominantly like a television actor, then they separated that from film. Yeah, they were like, oh, I don't know if we want to see that television actor come in for this audition or be a part of that because this is a film project.
Yes.
And then that slowly kind of bled over and crossed over, and then it was like film and television, and the same kind of thing that we're seeing today, where it was like the audiences got brought over from television into film, and so they saw that it would be profitable. And then when all of the internet stuff started coming up too, it was the same thing, like, well, but if you want to be classy, you won't put stuff on YouTube or you won't put these things up. You want to stay very private so that people never confuse your personal life with like the life of these characters and they buy into the characters. But it's funny because that's gone out the window too. Now it's just like whatever you want to do, you do. And, things are open, which I think is pretty cool.
And it is, because I'll tell you, I don't know who would be filming your dad. I mean, I'm not giving it away again, but I'm giving it away. I saw something. This man is Indiana Jones. That's all I gotta tell you, okay? No
he sure
is. Tell him. No stunt double. It's not a stunt double.
Oh my gosh. He sure is. I would say Indiana Jones, but better than Indiana Jones because he's the real thing. He's a gemologist. He's a bush pilot. He's a helicopter pilot. He's got his commercial license for flying.
A bush pilot.
Everything,
That's interesting.
everything. All around the world. He speaks fluent Spanish.
French, Portuguese.
French,
yeah, there you go.
Fala português.
Oui.
What is the tutelabang?
No, Tulabang?
Tula bang.
Yeah, you can't stop him.
Fala
He's on the
português.
go. And he's got more energy than anyone I've ever seen.
And how do you do that? How do you do that? Is that just kind of a way of life every day of thinking, or do you do a whole exercise regime with vitamins and this and that?
Well, no, I'm very much into nutrition and stuff too, but I wake up every day and I want to be doing something. And I have goals. And every day I have to do something. Every day I have to do something. And like the idea, the word I hate worse, I mean, like my number one
Tell me.
is the R word. I can't stand that when someone goes, relax. I'm like, no, don't use that word around me. No.
Do not tell me to relax.
Right.
I'm from New Jersey. I got places to be.
Exactly. Places to go. Things to do.
Right.
Yeah, there's no time to relax. Yeah, I got to get with it. A lot to get accomplished.
But LA has, unfortunately, done that to a lot of people in so many ways. I want to tell you that when people make fun of actors and actresses saying, oh, they get paid so much money to do this and that, it's a lot of hard work, and getting up in the morning and showing up is part of that job.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And memorizing lines can be crazy. It was so funny when I was on that show House, Hugh Laurie, when you looked at his dialogue, like when he'd say it, he'd say it so eloquently and just roll off his tongue and everything else. And he also was doing an American accent when he's actually British. And his dialogue was like this long. It took up the whole page.
He just got it like that.
Oh my gosh, this gentleman, he's like in every lead, like, or in every scene, like how, working these 12, 14-hour days, like how is he
able to do it?
Yeah.
I have another question that you just brought up that's just really been, I was thinking about you and another actress. She's such a good actress. Sarah Bolger, I think her name is. She's British, but I didn't know that. And then there's the other guy, he's British, and I didn't know that. And I'm thinking, you can't find any blonde-haired, blue-eyed people in America to act, like...
There's also Australians.
New
They load all the Australians up.
Why?
One of my friends was telling me, and I don't know what the validity to this is, but he was like, he was an actor, and he was like, we hire all of these Australians. He's like, but you know what happens when you go to Australia to act? They won't hire us.
No, they won't.
They say our accent sucks.
They look down, as a matter of fact.
So it's true?
Yes.
Oh my
It's the bloody way they say mom, and the word is mum. You're like, I'm thinking mum was a deodorant when I was growing up. I don't understand. But I mean, it's also amazing when you take, for example, Jack from, what's his real name? From Sons of Anarchy, plays Jax.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
It's slipping my tongue, yes.
And I told you I had a chance to meet him not knowing that he was a star. But I was like, who is this cutie pie coming in? And I looked like such an old lady when I said, take a picture with me. I said, you are so cute. And he took a picture with me, and he looked at me like she has no idea who I am. I know she has no idea who I am. And I never expected to hear in a talk show somebody. I didn't see it coming. He's an outlaw. He's playing in the Sons of Anarchy. He's doing all that, and he's British, and they're all British. But we can't. Is it that can we reciprocate? Can they reciprocate, or we are not just on the level of speaking those various dialects of English?
I think that their schooling is a little bit more refined from their acting schools. I'm just kidding. But I have heard that before. It's of a different caliber than the American ones.
That's why?
Yeah.
Might be a chance?
Yeah.
Why they get ahead?
Yeah.
And it's amazing because I always think to myself, there's got to be somebody else that could have played. And I'm not like that because, look, I get into all this stuff with Hollywood, with, culture vulture, appropriation. I'm a Swedish and black redneck Jew. When I'm in New York City, I'm a Puerto Rican. Uptown, I'm a Dominican. In LA, I'm Persian. Where am I going to fit? I do not know. But sometimes you got somebody that can just play the role
That's
well. And now they're trying to change all that. And so I'm wondering, is it ever going to start where let's have us from Jersey go to England and do some Shakespeare. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'll come right behind you. Cheer you on.
We got to do it to be like, yo, Romeo. Romeo. Where's your gel, Romeo? We're going out.
I would watch that. I like that. I think that's great. It's an updated version. I'm with it. You know, we had so much fun with Hollywood.Con because we, for the Hollywood aspect of it, because it's the movie's a combination of both of our worlds. So it's the Hollywood world and then the Latin America, gemology, Mayan stuff. And so we combined the two together. But for the Hollywood section of it, I had a blast because I got to go through and write out all of these quirky oddball characters that I've met over the years, and like also the situations of the language where they're like, try to like network or like ladder climb or like drop people's names. And there's this one scene in the movie that cracks me up. We have the actor Devin Rattray in there, and he has a meeting, and so he's on the phone and he has this meeting, and this great actor Herbert Russell walks through, and so he arrives for this meeting, and he's on the phone, and he's like, "Mom, like I need more money, like Mom, can you just give me some cash?" And Herbert walks through and he goes, "Hello, yeah, okay, Beyonce, like Beyonce. Well, yeah, then you should have put a ring on it, baby. Yeah, baby. Okay, Snookums, talk to you later. Bye." And he hangs up. And it's so funny because it's so on point and so true. And I just had a blast incorporating and like including all of those little things into the film
because it's so real.
Yeah, it's so real. I would have loved to pick your brain on when we were writing that. Oh my God, I would have that would have tickled me to death.
I got something for you. Part 2, I have something for you. When I first came out here, I didn't understand. You know, when you're from New York, nobody cares what kind of car you drive. And if you drive a car, you're a jerk. That's how they think. You know, they're like, what jerk is driving a car? You know what I mean? Because there's no room for a car. So I come to LA. I meet a nice girl, really nice. And we're going out to dinner. And she says, well, we're going to have to park a few blocks away. And I said, why? They have a valet. She says, you can't pull up in a Rabbit in a valet. I said, it's not a real Rabbit, it's a Volkswagen. What's it, I understand. And she was serious.
No, it's so true, though. Here in LA, it is so true.
Wait, why, though?
Well, no, there's people they would rather have a nice car
than have a nice house
and sleep in it than to have a nice apartment and a funky car.
And that's what I'm learning now. Okay, now I didn't know about all this until because I'm looking at this one BMW in the back. I'm like, oh, I love it. I saw this woman eating her breakfast. I saw her hat. She has a cat in the car. But she must leave them somewhere where she can drive around and be like that. And that's sad that Hollywood has to be like that because we should really have more people like your daughter. You've done a wonderful job as a father. And I don't know you that long. And I don't know you that well.
Yeah, Mika's a good girl.
But I see that. I have 2 daughters that are in the business, Satan and Lucifer. And that's just because they're going into the terrible 20s. And I thought the 2s were bad. Same thing. I want, I need. And to do this, to create this beautiful, intelligent, and kind daughter, how much work was that on your part? And what do you think really helped you stay on point with her?
Well, one thing, Mika has great work ethics, super work ethics. So, and she's driven. An example. So we had a spot where we were doing 2 hotel rooms, and I built the sets on this. I built over 30 sets on this thing here. So I would design the sets, build. We each had a million different jobs. So I was designing the sets, build the sets. So I get this truck loaded with all kinds of stuff for 2 hotel rooms. We're in Burbank. And we start out, and then our cinematographer lost a... Anyway, the whole day was just going kind of strange, and we were getting different things going. 22 hours later, we're still filming, and Mika goes, I'm going, Mika, we got to... That's it. We can't do it. Mika's, I got to get... No, Dad. I just want to get a couple more shots in. So that was working with Mika. She just is driven, which is great.
Right.
Yeah, and we're both driven, so I'm really fanatic with... go, and so is she. So that really was...
It's scary because so am I, and everybody's so upset about that.
No, it's just wonderful.
You know what they say?
Yeah, so we were able to... Yeah, so we were able... So no matter where we were at or what we were doing, when we were doing our airplane scenes, we filmed... Oh, man. So it's freezing outside. We have an airplane. We're in a field, and we're filming...
Where is this?
This was in Texas, West Texas.
Okay.
And we're filming this crash scene in an airplane. and it's like it's freezing out. It's like 3 or 4 in the morning. We just kept going. We started, it took all day, but we just kept going and going and going. We had lightning going on outside and
Nuts.
all kinds of stuff. So anyway,
Cows. There were the Watusi
Cows.
cows out there.
Yes.
And some of them had little babies, and we were like, oh no, like, make sure you don't make it even mad. We're the bulls.
Right, exactly. You get kicked.
Yeah.
We also had this special thing. It was funny for the airplane scene stuff. So we had a machine that did turbulence for the plane, but it wasn't quite looking like as authentic as we wanted it to look. And so on the fly, this sort of seesaw that went on the back of, because the airplane in the film is a tail dragger. It's got the 3 wheels, the 2 in the front and the 1 in the back. And so on the fly, this seesaw was put together for underneath the back wheel to create, because we figured out that makes the best turbulence. And so it was funny because when we were filming these scenes, the only people that were the correct size to get the turbulence going, to ride the seesaw, was the Mayan priest and me. So we've got this great behind the scene footage, and it was also like, hey, you're not in this shot. Like, your close-up's done.
Get out here.
Get out there and go ride the seesaw. We need more turbulence.
But this
Come
is
on.
no, it's freezing. No, but it's freezing, and this is 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's out there, and we just kept going and going because we wanted to get it, and we got it, and it's killer.
A mind priest.
Yeah, the Mayan priest.
No, it is killer. This footage of this airplane stuff is as good as any movie, and it looks as professional as any movie that you've ever seen. I mean, it's killer.
What's killer is that this is what you really also
scene.
do too. I mean, with the gems, we do have to touch that a little bit more before we leave this interview, because you have to be fascinated by your dad's his confidence.
So cool. I mean, he, like, for confidence, I mean,
come on,
like, especially for flying. And I think that's I mean, I feel like you could, like, contribute, like, a lot of your confidence to becoming and being an awesome pilot, because I think you have to make decisions on the fly, right? And you have to, like, fully believe, on the fly.
Well, no, and I always felt like, for me, flying, I always felt like because there's different types of pilots. So there's some pilots that are very mechanical. So, and they're really good at, so I've never used, I was never into GPSs or anything. I was into my watch, my maps, and I was just, everything that I could control. So that's how I would, and I would go thousands of miles. I mean, I've flown in Africa and South America and Asia and all over the place, but I wasn't using, it was before they had
social media.
Yeah, before they had GPSs. GPSs were just for military.
Do you believe that they should still have that option? I do.
Well,
God forbid something happens to
so
GPS.
what? So when I was
runs out, you didn't charge that iPad.
No, but what's happening now?
I mean, I forget to plug mine.
No, but what's happening now? So when I first started getting into aviation, so I was going to school. And I was getting the license to be an airline pilot, because it was a great job in the 70s being an airline pilot. So all my friends, that's where they went. They became airline pilots. And then by the time I got my license, I'm like, I don't want to drive a bus. Besides, there's no excitement here. So I got into other stuff that would take me all over the world. So my friends that fly for the airlines, they fly into LAX, and sometime I'll see them here and we'll have lunch. They don't fly anymore. They don't do anything. They push a button, it lands a plane. They push a button, it takes off. I mean, they have trouble staying awake.
Tesla-ing.
Nobody flies.
Yeah.
Well, nobody flies anymore. I mean, they can, and every now and then you might do a landing. Also, something else. So instead of going to the airlines, I got into aircraft sales. So that took me all over the world selling airplanes.
Wow. And what aircraft sales? And you would be selling? Is this all parts of it?
Well,
or just the motor?
Well, we had a dealership, so it's like Grumman American, so we were selling those. But also there was a flight school, and then there was air taxi service, and I got into that for a moment too, and different things. So, but and then I got into military surplus, and that was great because that took me all over the world. It's very lucrative, and it's also puts you in third world countries and that's how I ended up getting into into gemology, and because I got into where they were like diamonds and gemstones, and I go, oh my God, I've got to go to, I need to go to GIA, the Gemology Institute of America. Right. They have a school in Carlsbad. It's like the best in the world. And I go, I got to learn about this stuff because everybody's trying to give me gemstones, and this is something that, man, I can get into this. Yeah, I can get back into the jungles and get these gemstones and get out. I'm liking that.
Isn't it kind of dangerous?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
like,
what made it exciting. You know what?
Oh
It's
my
like,
God,
oh man, that's where the excitement's at. Yes, and here's the deal: when there's a lot of danger,
he smiles.
yes,
He smiles.
yeah. So when there's danger, everyone's terrified to go back into these places. It's like, oh man, no, it's like, they're killing people back there. And those are like, I was like, cool. Let's get back in there. There's some money to be made. Yeah, they practically giving this stuff away back there. Everybody's scared to get in there. Yeah, I'll go do that.
Sunda needs to go on a gem hunting trip.
I need to go on a gem
Well,
hunting
that's what we
trip.
should do. You know what we should do is we should start like so the last place I was working when we started making this movie, I was working in Madagascar, which was just off the hook, man. Madagascar is magic. And they have, so all of the mining and everything going on, they have sapphires, a lot of sapphires, they have a lot of gold there. But they're actually, everything's done by hand. So you'll see these like pits, and it's like something out of a movie of like the Egyptians or something. There's these huge pits in the ground where there's like, where they're pulling sapphires out of, and they've got these little walkways, and it's just humans. There's no machinery, and they've got these bags of sand. They're all walking up like ants walking up. Then they have little holes people are going down in.
But don't you think there's got to be an app to find that?
They got apps for everything now,
Well,
right?
I don't know. I haven't seen an app. No, that's a good
Let's
idea.
go in on that. Let's make an app for that.
Let's make an
Oh,
app.
We're gonna
good
go in
idea.
on the app for it.
So
what was it? So what was it, and where do you find it? And how
yeah.
No, because
Oh,
there's
but
one that
there's-
says
We're gonna start
detection on it. I'm serious.
Okay, now here's something else that's cool though. So when so with the type of work that I was like, especially in Madagascar,
Okay.
you're really exploiting everyone because and the whole
That's sad.
well, yeah, it is, but you can also pay back. So what Mika and we started a charity there, and there's like, you can see stuff online. It's called Mata Kalunga. So Mata is Madagascar. Kalunga means children. It's slang in Madagash, that language. So what I would do is every time, as soon as I got all my gemstones, so what I was doing is I was rounding up sapphires. My buyer lived in Thailand, and so he'd fly over, and then I was like, everything's super corrupt there, so you pay everyone off, and you walk him through customs and put him on the plane and go, see ya.
Bye.
And he takes off, and he takes it because sapphires, 90% of the sapphires come out of Thailand, not because they originate there, but they cook them there. So they put them in these really primitive ovens, and they heat them up. So blue sapphires are colored by iron and titanium, by trace elements of iron and titanium.
Gorgeous. Look, we're matching.
Wow.
Look at this.
Yours
Go
has a
girls.
real, that's nice.
it.
So they roll it. So
And they melt this.
Yes. Well, no, they don't melt them. So
Okay, how?
So sapphires are from the mother stone's corundum. So they'll put them in these ovens and they'll heat them up to a point where it melts the iron and titanium trace elements inside the corundum, and it makes it beautiful blue. So they have it down to an art in Thailand where they can heat it up right before the melting point of the corundum, before the stone melts, and it'll melt the iron and titanium pieces that are in there, the trace elements in there, and it'll make it a beautiful blue. So they'll get stones that look like crap that are
So it's
worthless.
the reaction of the heat that makes it.
They melt them. Yeah, they melt. But what it does is it makes the that's acceptable because there's a lot of stuff in gemstones that are not acceptable. That's acceptable is pretty much all sapphires are heat treated. If you can get one that hasn't been heat treated, and you can tell if you look to a microscope and get into it, you can see where stuff has been melted. If you get one that's beautiful blue and hadn't been heat treated, it's worth a fortune.
Has to be.
Anyway.
And that would be found.
Well, they have them here and there, and sometimes you can. I'm not going to be telling.
I
I
wanna
don't know where
know-
that's at. I'm not.
You know what I
we
want to
can't-
know? I'm wondering, because I'm not from here.
Oh, but there's just one other thing I had to say. Here,
Yeah,
let
tell
me
me.
just get this off because I have
please,
trouble
go
staying
ahead.
focused. Okay, so
You can't stay focused.
what we would do, so in Madagascar, after I'd round up and I get rid of my guy and go to Thailand, then what I would do is I'd go into the capital and I'd fill a truck up with school supplies. And so I'd go out to the poorest areas, and the teachers don't get paid. The teachers are paid. The families bring them rice, and I mean they're really poor. And I've never seen such beautiful. You got to look it up online and look at these kids. They're the most beautiful kids in the world. And when you hand them a notebook, they take it with both hands. It's the cutest thing. They take it with both hands, and it's just the look in there. There's such gratitude. You know, here in the States, you give a kid an iPhone, you go, love you, Dad.
Not
You know,
even.
Yeah. If you
Like
get
it's
on,
the
I
wrong
love you.
cover, Dad.
Yeah. So we put this together. So what I would do, so I didn't feel like I was So what I would do after each buy, because I go there for 2 months, round them up, get rid of my guy, and then what I would do is I'd always go out to the outlying areas and we would hand out school supplies and give to these different schools.
Right.
And that, okay, because here's the deal is, if you go there and you overpay people, they'll kill you. And well, there's several things. One is people don't like you, and you want to be liked. Second of all, they don't think
you're
you're
not from there.
Well, and they don't think you're a nice guy. They think you're stupid. So either think you're stupid, or because it's so.
We'll take from you.
So what you have to do is you have to go in and do it like you got to play the game. And then if you want to do something that makes you feel good yourself, that you give back, and that's how you give back, and you give to the kids.
Right.
So that's what we're doing. So we had that set up, and we've got it's online, Matakalunga, and it's pretty cool.
Say that again. I want to say that again with you. Matakalunga.
Matakalunga. So Kalunga is slang in Madagascar for kids.
Kalunga.
And Mata is for Madagascar. So that's Mika.
I'm mad because I made a Kalagaska.
Yeah,
That's what happened. That's how it came out. I'm mad.
Matakalunga.
And so you speak all these languages, which really must.
Well, there
give
you have
a
to
heads
speak
up.
French. So if you're in Madagascar and you don't speak French, you got some issues. Because they don't speak English. So there's very few.
Oui,
Some
comment
of the
allez-vous?
kids are
Je
starting.
m'appelle Sunda Cronquist. Comment est-on? Je m'appelle. Oh no, how do I say I am from?
Beautiful accent.
Je suis
de New Jersey.
Yeah, je suis de New Jersey. Je suis de New Jersey.
Jersey. Let me tell you something.
Je suis de...
Jersey girls do not belong in France with bad attitude. You know how much food they give you on a plate? Like a little thing like that. I
No,
said
it's
I asked
terrible.
for a meal and they give you a little bit of food. It's so good.
Right, yes.
And if you try to speak French, they do this. And what is that all about?
Yeah.
Oh, the
No, they're...
Yeah.
Well, that's... Okay, so...
Jersey does it too, but
So
it's
Latin
different. We
America.
have class.
So Latin America, you go to Latin America, anywhere in Latin America, Mexico, Latin America, and you try to speak Spanish, man, everybody, they're helping you, they love
Oh!
it, they respect you, man,
Love
they're all
it.
over. Yeah, man, they love you. Man, you go to France and you're trying to like do something, they're looking at you like, they understand exactly what you're saying. They look at you like,
That's it. It's always that.
yeah, we don't understand you, so.
I'm not gonna even get
It's
into
because
it.
they're cool. They're sophisticated. They're
Let me
wearing
tell you
all
how
that
cool.
black.
Let me tell you some how cool and sophisticated they were. I was in France for a month after I'd left Spain. I'd spent some time in Spain and in Scotland, and it's my last day. And my boyfriend at that time wants to go to Avignon because he wants to see this particular museum. Me being from Paterson, New Jersey, I said, "Look, I got all my stuff in the car. Why don't we head back to the rental car, catch a plane?" He wants to see the museum. I said, this is a hatchback. And then he says to me, Sunda, we're not in Paterson. We're in France. Like, take it a step down. As I speak and the police come. Anyway, let's cut to the chase.
Quick, hide.
Yeah.
I come out of this museum and I have nothing.
You been hit?
Nothing.
Oh my gosh.
Not one thing.
Wow.
We had nothing.
And if you'd have been in New Jersey, they wouldn't have touched your stuff because they'd have been afraid to. They looked at that car and they would have said, I don't know who, maybe we better leave that one alone.
So what happened next? So what happened
I
with the
went and hired a
boyfriend?
private investigator.
Did you leave the boyfriend there?
Because let me
Did
tell
you
you
get rid of
something.
it? Was that it?
Let me tell you
Put
what I
him in the
told
back of
him.
the hatchback?
I told him to drop me off when we got to the States. You drop me off in my apartment and you go to yours. He says, we live together. I said, that's why I kept my apartment. You drop me off in my apartment and you go to yours. Because there's a .con everywhere, okay? And I think that with this movie, she's going to show you things that are kind of like undercover.
That's
in a
right.
TMZ-esque kind of way.
That's right.
And that is going to be, that's a teaser, People want to know what inspired you to do it, man? What made you say, I'm going to do this?
Juicy. We've got the juicy gossip in there that you got to watch the movie for. We got the Hollywood.Con artist. Had so many different experiences, had to lay it out just a little, just a tease of
What's
it.
your best con?
My best con? I
Was
don't
it
have
a
any
modeling
cons.
place or,
A what?
when they say con, it's always something, You go for an audition out here, this is years ago, and they would say, you're perfect. You're perfect. The only thing we have to do right now is get your headshots done. And once we get these headshots done, we're going to get you an agent and then a manager because we'll get the agent for you. And for $1,500, we'll do this for you.
Well, that's word for word from our movie.
I just had a
Our movie's full of that. That's
a
what it
friend-
is. It's the real deal. It's Hollywood.
I just had a friend who called, and it was that same thing. She goes, I really want to do acting, and looks like it's gonna cost $2,600 to sign up, and then from there it's gonna be $75 a week. But I get headshots.
You know.
I was like, I don't,
And I'm done with the con. And I gotta tell you something. It's like I run this school, right? I run this school, the LA School of Comedy. I'm the founder, not to push myself over her movie because she's the star. But I've heard so many people that have come to my class, take a class, and they'll say, so how many times do I have to take the class before I go on stage? I said, well, you are paying money. You will be going on stage when you finish. And I didn't know that the con here is when we think you're good enough, then we will let you on stage.
It's like, how much money do you have left? Okay, you're almost out. Okay, well, yeah, well,
And it had
you
happened
need a couple
to me.
more classes.
Let me tell you something. Just had happened to me one time, and I knew it wasn't for me, this improv class, because I took the class. I was very good, and they said you're not performing the first time. But okay, fine. So I paid to go up, and they said, oh, no, well, you're not ready yet. We still have some work to do. I said, are you telling me I got left back? Like, is this great? Did I get left back? You're not putting me on stage, and I paid you for this service.
Yeah.
And that's why people say to me, you should have bundles. You should have this. You should have that. No, you should be on stage. That's how you learn. You got to, like she's doing. She's creating movies. And why I'm talking to my audience is because I encourage all of you that write me and ask me, how do you do this? How do you do that? She's telling you, put it in your own hands because anybody else is going to change it for you. And you're in control.
Got to get out there and just start grinding away and making stuff,
Not everybody has a dad like you, though. So how do you see? Like that's where I'm at now with some of the things that have been asked. Like your dad's your protector, and will take that cowboy boot and shove it so far up a producer's eardrum.
That's right.
They won't know it hit them.
Fulano. Do you know what fulano is? Fulano in Spanish is Mr. Jones or that guy or that person or whoever. Fulano.
Right.
Yeah, I'll put
the
this
John,
up.
The John Doe.
The John Doe's. I'll put that up Fulano's ass. Whoops.
Oh!
We weren't supposed to say that, right? Can you say that?
It's in the Bible.
Is it? Yes, that's
Fulano
right.
was in the Italian Bible.
That's right. Well, and also it's a donkey. That's right.
A chooch.
There you
In
go.
Italian, you would say.
There you go.
A chooch.
All right.
But there we go with the con. How do you discern the difference? And how do you, maybe this movie will help. It's going to have to help people.
I think it's fun.
It's still going on though, right?
It's all the cons. It's fun. Yeah, we make light of all of it in the movie. It's fun. It's a play on things. You've got that satire aspect of it. But what's really cool with the film is that it's in juxtaposition with or not in juxtaposition, but you like bounce back and forth with all the Latin America stuff. So, you get the Hollywood stuff, but then you get all of the Mayan culture, the Enchanted Jade. And I thought it was interesting too, because, they always tell you to write what you know. And so when I was trying to figure out what kind of project I wanted to do, I was like, well, I know this Hollywood.Con stuff, so Hollywood.Con. Like, I know that. All right. So, okay, I'll do the Hollywood.Con, which I think is fun because if you know what you're writing about, you can add something. And I'm sure, like, this is the same with all the comedy stuff that you do. Like, you can add something that's genuine and authentic to it that gives it, like, a texture that things don't necessarily have if you don't have any, like, life experience with that. And then for the Latin America part of it, because he has all of these experiences in that world and with the stones and with the Mayan culture and these things, that adds that authenticity to that, and that same kind of like realist texture. And so I thought that would be fun to, because somewhere in there, I think it grounds the work, when
does,
there's a little bit of realism, a
together.
little bit of experience, it grounds it. Yeah.
And he seems to have it both. And I don't know how you work with him without laughing.
It's hard. It's hard.
We had one scene we had one thing happen that was pretty hysterical in Mexico. So we've got one morning and we're filming a kidnap scene. So we've got it all set up, but we're trying to do everything with like as small as possible. So
economical.
Right. Well, yeah. And also that people, and so no one can really tell exactly what's going on because kidnap scenes in Mexico, sometimes they're not real big on you doing kidnap scenes.
Right. Because
well, like Man on Fire, though, they threw them out.
What?
Yeah, they stopped that whole production because of what was going on with the whole scene there with that. So anyway,
Didn't know that. There's a little bit coming from me.
Yeah. So So we're filming this, and as we're filming, we had to do several takes. There's a guy pulls it I work security always. I'm the one in problem solver. So there's a guy pulls up on a motorcycle. He's watching, but he's not really looking at the boom pole or the cinematographer. What he's looking at is he's looking at this huge thug that's got Mika that's throwing her in the trunk of a car, kidnapped. And I shouldn't be giving this away, but he's like, so that's what he's looking at. And this dude is just. I mean, this dude's
gigantic.
He's terrified. No, the guy on the motorcycle is terrified. I mean, he's trembling.
Oh, he was
and I'm
scared.
just like, oh God.
He didn't try to help.
I would have given. Well, no, in Mexico.
God.
No, you know, are you kidding? He burnt rubber. He went home. I'm sure he pulled the shades down. Told his wife, "It's like no, because you don't report crimes like that."
You turn Italian and you know nothing.
Exactly. Well, down there also, yeah. You didn't see anything? I have no idea. No, he burnt rubber, but he was terrified. He was just shaking. Then I saw another one come up that looked, and because I was like watching the terror, and I'm just like, God, I need a camera on them. I would have given anything for a camera on them.
But real reaction.
Oh my God, it was golden, but I didn't have one on. But he left. The guy never figured it. I know he's like checking the news. Gets home and goes, honey, check the news out. There's this little blonde, and they were kidnapping her down in the middle of town.
He was probably wondering if they got his license plate and that somebody was going to show up at his house.
Well, yeah,
the way it would operate otherwise, it would be.
Well, yeah, because there's also a lot of like complicity with the law down there involved in stuff too. So people are like, yeah, that's why no one reports anything, because they don't know. They call it and report something. They may be reporting to the people who are just actually
paid off.
Yeah, or they were, yeah. So that was pretty. That was a really wild.
I would have been afraid, to be honest with you. I don't know. You're very strong. You have a lot of courage. I don't like to go places where because if it can happen, it will happen to me. Things like that happen to me.
You think you're primed for the kidnapping?
If not,
we'll put we'll make you heavy. We'll put little weights on your feet so you can't drag
don't
you
worry,
fast enough.
No, we'll plug a tractor. we'll put a little tracker on you. That way we can run you down.
You know.
When we're filming at some of these places, don't worry, we'll get you. We got you covered.
You're gonna have me covered.
Yeah.
I was part of a kidnapping once, by accident.
What happened?
Kidnapped or were
I
you?
wasn't kidnapped.
You orchestrated?
I did not orchestrate it. I knew the person, and I did not know what he had done. It's been on the news, and so what? I don't even care. But I just want to tell you,
statute of limitations ran.
It's not even He was a dear friend, sweetheart, and he kept coming to the cleaners where I worked. I used to work in a dry cleaners through college. And he kept saying, Sunda, do you want some rice and beans? He just kept asking about rice and beans. And I was like, and he was Ecuadorian. I loved it. Gorgeous, Guillermo. And all I could tell you is when I got home that night and the news was on, they had him handcuffed, and they said, we found they had the kidnapper. He kidnapped the First National Bank's president's wife. And I don't know what was going through his head. This is during the pizza connection back in the day in New York, Giuliani, whatever. But I don't want to know anything about this, okay? So I'm like, oh, my God, because I saw him, right? And I was like, oh, my God. Well, nobody's going to say anything because I have nothing to do with it. Right? I go to work. Guess who comes in to visit me? Federal Bureau of Investigation. And he asked me, do you know so-and-so cost arrest? And I said, it's funny, the name rings a bell. I said, but I can't remember to face it. They pull up, if you can remember a Betamax, if you're that old.
I remember Betamax.
They had your girl, me, laughing and talking and smiling with him and kissing him hello. And,
whoa.
And they are across the street filming us, Channel 5, okay?
Oh, my gosh.
They knew where I went to school. They knew I just come back from vacation. They knew that my car had been paid for in cash. And they want to know why the ransom money was found in my old grammar school.
Oh, there was ransom money paid.
It's a mess.
Oh, my goodness.
How's that?
Man.
Kidnapping. So
That's
when I picked up on that because you never know what's going on in people's worlds. This is a friend of mine. I mean, when I say friend, I had a crush on him. Well, yeah. We didn't have any Spanish kids coming to my town. When they did, we're like, wow, he's hot. This one's hot. That one's hot.
So he was Hispanic.
Oh,
he was offering rice and beans. I mean, that's understandable.
Well, yeah,
What girl don't want to get fed?
Okay.
He kept saying, Sunda, do you want rice and beans from Sunshine's, this deli? Now, I'll tell you, the woman wrote a book who was kidnapped. She wrote a book.
Oh, wow.
one of the things she kept mentioning is that they kept asking her if she wanted rice and beans, and that was my mother said, there's nothing funny about that. That woman was petrified. I was just saying to myself, it's so funny because he kept asking me if I wanted rice and beans too.
Maybe that was the code word. Had you said yes, you could have been kidnapped.
Can you imagine?
He's like, I only want girls who want rice and beans.
Man, you don't even know, guys, what's like.
Yeah, because that's all they have. So it's like, look, okay, so I got to make sure they can eat rice and beans, and they'll be okay with that.
But at least
before I
he's
grab
feeding
them.
her.
That's right.
At least
And
he's
hey,
feeding
and that's good protein. Rice and beans, that's a good
Hey, better
protein.
than the alternate. But I got to tell you one thing. When you don't know you're being filmed and you're checking his butt out when he walks away, you're embarrassed. On top of all the feds and everything, he walks away. I'm like this. Looking at him. They're so cute. And that's what happened. You imagine? I would hate to be kidnapped. Suppose they said to my husband, we need $1 million or we're going to keep your wife. And he says, keep her. I would know what to do. What is next on the horizon for you? Because I see so much, and I know because I deal with a lot of comedians. And I also do serious work. You know, I've been on Law & Order. I have a degree in criminal justice. I have a very boring side. But you have such a refreshing side to you that I think comedy's missing now.
I'm ready.
You know?
In the future, I've got stand-up comedy coming out.
You do?
Yeah.
You're going to work with me.
Yeah, you and I are going to work on it together, so
Hey,
that'll
listen.
be fabulous. I was excited about that. And then film-wise, there's a series of educational films for children that we're going to do, so that'll be fun. And then there's a historical drama that takes place in the 1920s about a boy. He starts out, he's 12 years old, starts out in California, and then travels south by jumping trains. And so there's all these beautiful vignettes where he's coming of age, interacting with different people, trying to find work, and it's just a completely different world. So that's cool. And then there is a documentary that we're plugging away on. We're still putting together the pieces on it, but it'd be with country music artists. And
love
so that's
documentaries.
really fun because we've had a lot of interesting stuff in the music video world recently. We did that music video, Catch Me If You Can, with Travis Tidwell. We did that. We were able to film it over the pandemic, which is so cool. And we got it up on country music television. And it was just nominated for the Josies, for the Independent Music Awards.
And
so,
for those of you who don't know, that's what it stands. And it's named after.
I don't know who it's named after, but apparently it's the biggest.
No, I
I'm excited
remember.
about it.
I
Here's
did
a
my
video
homework.
Jones, yeah.
It's
And I
Josie.
Yeah.
The Pussycats.
Josie and the Pussycats. Also, the character Josie from the movie Never Been Kissed.
There you go.
Drew Barrymore played that. I really like that one too. I'm actually not.
And you've
totally,
worked with her, right?
I did. I played young Drew Barrymore in Riding Cars with Boys.
Wow.
Which is so fun.
How young? Coke or pot young? Which Drew?
Well, it's Hollywood.
It's true.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm not overly familiar with that award show. I've got to look into it more. But from my understanding, from my friends that are more in the music industry, they said it's the biggest.
That's
It's the biggest independent music award show, and so the music video is nominated for Music Video of the Year.
I'm going to Tennessee.
Yeah. So the award show
yeah.
is in September. We're gonna pull out our tassels and our
Get your
cowboy
boots,
hats,
cowboy hat, and let's go.
Yeah.
I would love
And you
to
know
go
what? There's going to be
cover you.
some really, really cool people at that awards, like really special people, like movers and shakers of Nashville.
I grew up strangely enough, with country music. My mother was addicted to country western music.
I love country music.
I
love it. The
sometimes
dog died.
the dog died, the cat died.
Well,
Well, no,
Relationship,
that
but you
gets a
still
little
love
heavy.
them.
Yeah, it gets a little heavy with that. Some of that sometimes.
You're
There's some
trying
good. Now
hard.
the one we did though, "Catch Me If You Can," that's a good one though. That's a.
It's like Southern rock. It's very uplifting. It's about, working for stuff and like just sticking with it. There's a line in there too about not paying attention to the haters.
There's always a message in
always
country
important.
western music.
Yeah,
It's like, take your cheating man back because you can't afford not to.
and leave me my dog,
Leave me my dog, right? The dog belongs to me.
and I'm gonna grab a few drinks.
That's right.
Yeah,
We're going to
let's
go
have
watch
some whiskey.
Sunshine.
Yeah.
There was
look
there's a funny song. I don't know who it's by, but it cracks me up. And I didn't really know what the lyrics meant, and it just like struck me recently. It's like the only BS that I'm interested in is beers and sunshine.
Hey, listen, why not? And sometimes at
like-
night when you drink beer, you see sunshine. So, and then that's the next morning usually when you keep drinking beer. And I just wanted to ask one thing about your philanthropic side, because I know there's going to be one. I think that kids need to see more of this stuff with you. With Jim, with fun. I used to belong to the World Explorers Club, which is something very old that you would have never known, but collecting things and knowing what things are worth, and really, gems are beautiful, and people pick up stones and don't even realize what they are. And like you said about diamonds, just real quick on the diamonds, tell how diamonds are not that rare.
No, diamonds aren't rare at all. There's a company called.
Killed.
Yeah. Okay. No wait. There's a mafia. No, just kidding. There's a group called the Beers, and they control about 70-80% of the diamonds, and they stockpile them. So if the price of diamonds start to go down, they pull them back, and they have these people there's about 100 or so. They're called site holders, and those 100 people are the ones who control. The site holders are the ones who give out to the jewelry stores and give out to people, and they control the diamond industry. So, and when there's a new discovery, De Beers rushes in and becomes partners. Well, they'll partner up with people. Yeah. And so blood diamonds are, well, I'm not
right. What is that?
Blood diamonds are anybody that's not part of their network. So if it doesn't come from them, it's a blood diamond.
If it's independent.
If it's independent, they call them blood diamonds.
Interesting. I've always, I ran into the star of that movie, Blood Diamonds. I made a little joke to him, and I said, hey, where I can get some diamonds? And someone said to me, that was a terrible joke. And I was like, he's in the movie. You know what I mean? He laughed. It was a joke, but there's so much behind it. That and avocados, by the way, which I didn't know. Now, you look that up. I never knew about gems. And after you, I started looking at some stuff. You got me interested in this stuff. And there's something to do with avocados also that there's a big thing.
That healthy fat?
No, I think
there's
that the mafia. No, but I think in Mexico, the mafia has something with avocados. I think there's some different things going on down there.
That's Monsanto, right? Is that the seed people? It's so funny how we went right from a movie about Hollywood, because I'm from New Jersey, we go right to the mafia.
Yeah, and then
right to the mafia.
And then we're talking guacamole.
And we're talking, holy guacamole. But we're in, can you imagine by the time we leave here, kidnapping, mafia, feds, we're going to have a whole new black and white is the new black.
That's right.
Is the new orange. That's what we're going to be. Black and white is the new orange. Let me ask you one quick question before you go. What was the first thing your dad taught you how to defend yourself?
Ooh, first thing, how to defend myself. I don't know.
I don't remember.
I had to think about this.
I'm sure it was something creative.
I will say, not too long ago, it was so funny. I get this call from him, and he's like, hey, I got something for you. And I'm like, all right. And he had purchased me a beautiful, lovely, bright pink taser. He's like, this is for your car. This is for
and it's a good one.
He's like, it's got a flashlight too. You can just carry it with you. You like walk it with the car. So watch out, people. I got the taser.
And watch out because the one I got her is the real deal. That one will light you up. So yes.
Didn't you ask me though? You said, hey, you want to try it out though?
Well, no, I did.
He asked me if I wanted to get tased.
No, I did not. I did that with her brother, and I did. Yeah, we had.
You can light me up.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna work, but we could try. But you should have a taser.
Yes.
Or bear me.
Every
girl
girl
should
needs
have a taser. Right.
Listen, you need some kind of protection. And when you have a degree in criminal justice like me, you'll always think that way. Even if it's cheap perfume, spray him in the eyes when he
That's right.
Kick him and it's done. And I'm going to tell you something. With the wealth of talent you two have to offer, I don't even know what's going to... First, we have the awards we're going to go to.
Yes.
Which really going to be fun.
Which is going to be fun. We're going to dress up.
And you definitely... We're hoping you do accompany us.
I would like to do that because I've never been to Tennessee.
Oh, man, you'll love it.
And it's really...
You'll like it.
And I'm going to love it. I'm going to like it. And we're going to get some comedy out of it.
Yes, and we're going to listen to some country music. For your ma.
We're going to play that.
For Ma. This will be for Ma. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God.
This is for Ma.
And you know what I always say in the end of my act? When you're Swedish and black and you look like a Puerto Rican and your mother a Jehovah's Witness who loves country western music and sells Amway while cheating on Mary Kay, sends you to an Irish Catholic school, you're bound to be different.
So
there you go.
Was your mom really Jehovah's Witness?
Yes.
Because I just ran into this gal named Val in Mexico. And she grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, and she has this huge following now. She's a white witch, and Anyway, I was just talking to her. She just left me a message this morning. She's on her way to Peru.
To do what?
They're doing Iowa, whatever that stuff is that you go do in Peru.
Oh, when you take the coca leaves?
No, not the coca leaves. The ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
So she's got a group and they're going down there to do ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
But she's got this huge following. She's a white witch now, but she was talking about how she was in the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses.
And they don't want to be called the cult.
No, they want to be called. But anyway, I don't even know how we ended up there. But anyway,
we don't even know how we ended up there.
It's getting touchy.
Yeah, but this is, and I don't want to be.
touchy.
And then I started getting nervous. Even talking about, I go, God, I hope I'm not ratting Val out. Wait a second.
But there's nothing wrong with it. Hey, listen,
like,
I'm a member of the Jehovah's Witness Protection Program.
There you go.
Had to be.
Exactly. There you go. Okay.
By the way, that joke was written for me and I paid for it and somebody else did it. So that's why I'm saying it on camera. But you know, it's one of the things that gives a whole new meaning to that song. Someone's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell. Do me a favor, don't open the door. Don't let him in until Hollywood.com. So listen, you're going to be watching Hollywood.com on Amazon. And how long is this going on for?
It's on there.
I know.
Right
It's on
now,
there.
it's ready to go.
Hollywood.com, it's on Amazon.
Right, but so if you don't have Amazon, there is another platform now, or is that it?
No, that's
Right
it for
now,
now.
we're exclusive with Amazon.
It is exclusive.
We're
Yeah.
exclusive with Amazon, but we may not always
But
be exclusive with Amazon.
that could change.
That-
Depends on how much loving we get.
We're going to
That's
get you a lot of love.
There you go.
We're going to get
So-
you a lot of love, and we want you to follow both of them. Tell them your handles and where to find you.
I'm on all social media platforms, just under my name, Mika Boorem, MikaBoorem.
I'm on no social media platforms.
That's not true. He tried to make it where we had a conjoint Facebook account. And I told
No,
him that
Mika
wasn't gonna
made
happen.
Mika made that
Yeah,
for
I
me.
was like-
Mika
I was
made
like,
me
I
a
can't do
Facebook
that.
account, and I have this. Okay, so I have this. It's terrifying. So I have this thing happens all the time. He goes, "Hi, my name is, and I want to be your friend." I'm going, I don't think so, man. I have no idea who you are, and you want to be my friend, and I don't even. And it
They
says
just
Facebook.
have your inheritance they're trying to get
Well, no,
to
but
you.
and it says Facebook. And I'm good. I don't even have
All
Facebook.
they need you is to send
But-
a little cash for them to send over the inheritance.
That's
Anyway,
it.
there you go. So anyway,
That's it.
the only thing I have is I have Jim Hunter Boorem, Boorem. Check that out.
I want you
that's
to
cool
check
because
that
you'll
out.
like that because it's the real deal and
It
it's
is.
a little it's a little
It's edgy, too.
Yeah, it's a little video of me in a lot of different parts of the world
It's not little.
buying gemstones. It's pretty cool.
It's huge, and it's great. Can you repeat it just one more time? I'm so sorry.
Jim Hunter Boorem, Boorem.
Gem Hunter, as in Gem. Gem.
Like gemstones.
Like
Yeah, because I
gemstones.
said that before because with my southern accent, I go Jim Hunter. And so everybody's like looking at GYM. They're going, oh, this is like, was it like working out? I'm going,
Unless
no,
they were
it's
thinking about
gemstones.
Big Jim.
Yeah, or Big Jim.
Let me
There
tell you
go.
something. We have covered every facet of everything we possibly could have. And you know, you are really an interesting guest, Mika. You really are. And it was really good to have you on.
Thanks so
Someone
much.
that can talk about other things other than, well, I'm an actress, and so I was studying Strasbourg, and so, you know, I just really want to do this. And instead of complaining about the jobs that aren't there, you're creating them for yourself. And God bless you for being a great father. I wish that there were many, many more fathers like you.
Oh, thank you. That's wonderful.
Yeah, that
I
way men
appreciate
wouldn't
that.
have to pay for our diamonds. You would get them.
Yes,
I'm
there you
kidding,
go.
guys.
Yes. No, she does have it. No, we do have a really nice collection. So she does have nice jewels. When it's time to go out and step out, she can pull them out.
Well, great. In Tennessee, they'll be dressing me.
There you go. Yeah, we will drape you, girl. Don't worry about it.
We're going to drape
Yeah.
you out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're going to take care of you.
Well,
Don't
we're
worry
taking
about it.
care of it, and you know who I am. Sunda Kroonquist. Follow me on all platforms. This talk show has been on the go. You make sure you check out Hollywood.Con. And here we go. And this talk show has been on the go once again. Thank you guys for watching. See you soon.
Hey, thanks for having me.